Guys, what's going on? I hope you guys are well, guys. Smash the like button wherever you guys are. Hit the subscribe button. Share the video, of course, guys. So, guys, you got to make sure to smash that like button. Share the video, of course. Get those videos out as well. I appreciate the support, as always, guys. Guys, I want to get straight into this video. So, guys, Vergil Ortiz before, and a lot of you criticized my analysis. Before I get into the video, I wanted to say that I wanted to talk about Vergil Ortiz and how he'd get on with Crawford and Spence. But before I do, some of you think that I don't give Vergil Ortiz a credit. Like, I've made videos about Vergil Ortiz before. I actually think Vergil Ortiz is a very good fighter. A lot of you saw the fight a certain way. I saw it a certain way. Now, I haven't gone back and watched the fight, so I don't know. It was early in the morning. It was 4 o'clock in the morning, and sometimes you see things differently. One thing I will say is, though, is that I never thought Mickinson was going to win the fight. And actually, if you go back and watch the video, I actually said that. What I said is this, and listen to me carefully. I had Mickinson winning the first round, and I had Vergil Ortiz dominating the fight from there on in till round 6. I thought round 2, round 3, round 4, round 5 was a pretty one-sided, the fight was going one-sided way. In round 6 and 7, I thought Mickinson did a lot better than what he did in those previous 4 rounds. And let's not forget, the commentator, now I gave Mickinson 6 and 7, and you guys seen it differently, and you guys thought that he won all 6. Or, you know, and some of you guys thought he won all of the rounds, Vergil Ortiz. But put it this way, the commentator had Mickinson winning 2 rounds, at least. Right? I'm not saying the commentator's right, but again, that's his opinion. So if what all of you guys are saying, majority of you guys are saying that Mickinson didn't win a round. So again, there's somebody that doesn't agree with you. The point I'm trying to make is that boxing is subjective. There would have been a lot of people that would have had Mickinson winning maybe 1 round, maybe no rounds, maybe 3 rounds, like myself. But boxing, I'll say it again, it's a very subjective sport. I'm not saying I'm right, and I might not have been right in this case, because I didn't go back and watch it again. The point I'm trying to make is that even the commentator didn't have it the way some of you had it. So he obviously was watching a different fight to some of you as well. The point I'm trying to make is I never thought Mickinson was going to win the fight. I always felt that Ortiz was going to win the fight because I felt the power was eventually going to take a toll somewhere down the line. What I was trying to say is that I thought Mickinson had done a lot better in round 6 and 7. And I thought there was a little shift in the sense that I thought Mickinson was getting a lot more comfortable with himself and comfortable in the fight. Because he had, the round 6 and 7, he had performed, in my opinion, he had performed a lot better than what he had done in the 4 rounds previous. The first round was a bit of a feel-out round. And, you know, some people gave that to Mickinson. Some people thought that Ortiz won that. The point I'm trying to make is sometimes a fight, a scorecard, the way you view a fight can be very subjective. And remember, it was 4 o'clock in the morning for me, so I was a bit tired. But the point, regardless of that, I personally had it the way I had it. Now, my brother had it differently. You guys had it differently. The commentator had it different to you guys because a lot of you guys had Mickinson losing every round. That wasn't how a lot of people, well, that wasn't definitely the way the DAZN commentator scored it. So the point I'm making is you could make a case that Ortiz won every round, you know, but people view things differently at times. Now, I might have been wrong in this case, which I probably was, because a lot of people, literally virtually everybody in the comment section had Ortiz winning every round, which, you know, fair enough. But moving away from the Mickinson fight, going off his performance, a lot of you thought I was giving him criticism. I actually wasn't giving him criticism. I actually think he did well. I think Ortiz did pretty well against a very tricky southpaw like Mickinson, who's a very difficult fight, you know, very awkward style, horrible style. And he did well. You know, he got the job done in the end. The Crawford and Spence fight, I actually think is interesting because I think Ortiz could potentially beat those guys. I wouldn't pick him to beat any of them. And I know Michael Rodriguez said, Imran, you feel like you never give him credit. The fact of the matter is, if you ask 95% or 99% of boxing fans, they'd all pick Crawford and Spence to knock Ortiz out. So it's not just me in that sense. It's not about giving someone credit or not giving someone credit. It's just the fact that I don't think he beats Spence or Crawford. But that doesn't mean he can't beat them. I wouldn't pick him, but again, there's a lot of times I picked Canelo to beat Bivol, and we all saw what happened there. The point I'm trying to make is that I actually think Ortiz has a chance. Ortiz is very strong. He's very fast. He's very powerful. At times, he loads up on his punches. He's a little bit wild. His punches at times can, you can see him from far away and avoid. But he is quick. He is fast. And if those punches land on anybody, I don't care who they are, whether it's Spence or Crawford, they're going to feel it. The Spence fight is a war. The Spence fight is a horrible fight. The problem is with Ortiz is that Spence is a massive puncher as well. So the way he was walking down Mickinson, he can't do that against Spence because Spence hits equally as hard. And I don't think although Ortiz hits hard at the elite level, how hard will he hit? That's a question. Because those guys, firstly, are better defensively. First, they take a better punch. They're also Spence is also going to be physically stronger. Crawford's going to be physically stronger than Mickinson. Also, they hit harder as well. So that is something that we've got to look into. Because remember, the Kavalauskas fight, Crawford was wobbled against Kavalauskas, yes. But again, Michael Rodriguez, who said that Crawford was hurt against. Yeah, but Crawford is a better fighter in terms of technically than Ortiz. Ortiz is a lot more ruthless, a lot more, he puts himself out there. But you've got to understand, if you understand boxing, Crawford is a much more skilled fighter. He's a lot more defensively responsible than Ortiz. Ortiz is fundamentally sound, but when you're up against a master like Crawford, then you're going to be in trouble. And when you're up against someone who's as fundamentally sound as Spence, Spence is more fundamentally sound than Ortiz. He's got a better defense than Ortiz, and he hits equally as hard, if not harder. I will say this, Ortiz might be slightly faster of hands than Spence, but both those guys' skill set is better than Ortiz. But I think Ortiz can beat them. I do. I wouldn't pick him, but I wouldn't be shocked. He's not a massive outsider. I would make him a 60-40 underdog against both those guys because the guy has got assets that can cause him a lot of trouble. His fast hands, his heavy hands and fast hands could be a problem for Crawford and Spence. And he's a big welter. He's a problem for any welterweight. Now, would I pick him against Ennis? Would I pick him against Spence and Crawford? No. But I think he could beat those guys as well. If he has the right game plan, he could potentially beat those guys because he's very strong. He's got a good chin as well. He punches very hard and he's fast. But I wouldn't favor him against those three. Anyone else, I probably would favor him in the welterweight division. But those fights would be really good. I would love to see Ennis and Ortiz get it on, and Spence and Crawford get it on, and the winners fight each other, and maybe the losers fight each other. It would be great. I actually think it would be. Those fights are great fights. But again, I don't want anyone to think that I'm knocking Ortiz. No, I think Ortiz is a very good fighter. He's just in a division which is filled with a couple of fighters that are better than him, in my opinion. Which it happens sometimes. You're in an era that's very, very, very competitive. Now, I personally think that the Spence fight is an absolute war. I think that stylistically is a beautiful fight. The Crawford fight is a trickier fight for him because Crawford's, in my opinion, fundamentally sound. He's fast. He's quick on his feet. I think Spence will be there for him a lot more. So I think Ortiz's style, I think he would prefer fighting Spence because stylistically, I think the fight matches him a lot more. I think Spence would stay there and trade and have a fight with him at times, whereas I think Crawford would just be too cute. Don't get me wrong, Spence is a very good boxer as well. So Spence could potentially make it difficult for Ortiz because, like I said, fundamentally, I think Spence is a better boxer than Ortiz. I think Crawford's just really fast and naturally gifted, and he's just got a lot about him. But again, Crawford is smaller, and we know Crawford can be hit and hurt, and Ortiz has the kind of power to really put it on and hurt Crawford. So that would be a very tough fight for Crawford. You know, I really like that fight. So yeah, leave your thoughts, guys. Let me know what you think. I definitely think Vergil Ortiz might be able to beat those guys, but I wouldn't pick him. But I think they would make for very good fights. Stylistically, I think the Spence fight is a brilliant fight. But leave your thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.